In for review today is Godzilla King of the Monsters on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. Some are saying this is the best looking release of the year. Did I agree with them? Find out by watching the video and see what the video and audio quality is like, as well as cover options and if it measures up to the best. Now, I didn't get to see this in theaters, and I'm really hating that after watching this because I think it would have been just so much fun on the big screen or IMAX. It was just meant to be shown on the biggest screen possible. All of that being said, I was shocked at how mediocre most of the CGI looked. This looked to be a huge summer blockbuster and had a fantastic A-list cast, and the trailers just were stunning. But I was blown away at how the CGI looked, almost like it was a few steps away from looking great, but not quite there. I honestly think some of the CGI on shows like Game of Thrones was better, and I doubt they had the CGI budget this film had. For instance, on Game of Thrones, when you saw the dragons, you felt like they were really there, whereas in this film, I thought the green screen work was really obvious, like they didn't even try to hide it. There was some scenes later in the movie where Millie Bobby Brown is running around in a city that's being destroyed, and I just couldn't believe how green screened it looked. Now, while the CGI was lackluster at best, this disc shows off probably the best usage of HDR that I've ever seen on 4K. My top release for the past few months has been Aquaman because it just blows me away, but Godzilla King of the Monsters takes the top spot. The colors in this movie were so stunning and just beautiful looking. Some of the film had an overall warm look to it, whereas the outdoor scenes were gorgeously saturated with deep blues and greens. Every time the Titans were shown in action, it was just a glorious spectacle of HDR usage. There were times when I needed sunglasses, it was so bright. I've never given my setup this kind of workout before. The picture quality was fine, not always as 4K crisp as I'd like, but really the HDR just distracts you from noticing hardly any faults for the most part. Audio on this release was fantastic, one of the best mixes I've heard. They did not disappoint on this one, using everything at their disposal. The surrounds were incredible, the overhead usage was amazing, and the deep bass rattled the windows during some scenes. This is by far the mix to beat when it comes to 4K content. As for cover art, there's a few options, just the standard, which I think looks a little cheesy, but at the same time it's very nostalgic of the old Godzilla movie. Best Buy has a nice looking Steelbook as well. So is this worth a day one pickup? For me, it would be. I just really enjoyed this movie as a mindless, fun popcorn flick with impressive visuals. Yes, the CGI was at times laughable, but the HDR is just mind-blowing. This is a disc I would definitely use for reference when it came to that, and sound. It was very impressive indeed. With all that being said, I'd like to thank you for watching, and hopefully I've informed you a little about your purchase decision. I'll see you soon.